burning in my bones. Still believe, yeah, I still believe. And all of those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream, I'm loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
It's another Tuesday evening, and we are live on Joy 99.7 FM. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Wherever you are listening to us from, want to say a very big thank you for making time to join us on our show this evening. Tonight, we're going to have a conversation that I believe is going to be helpful to you. One of the tech gadgets that we use in our homes and is very essential is the television, and we want to talk about it, especially in our fast paced world now where technology is evolving every single day. We want to talk about how you can keep up with the kind of television gadget that you have and then connecting with other tech devices in your home. I have my guest and we'll be getting into the conversation shortly. But let me just ask you, what is your dream television? I would want to hear you on that. Send me your response on the WhatsApp number 055 What is your dream TV? And what TV are you currently using? You definitely can share that with us on the WhatsApp number 055 And interesting, we will be getting into the conversation, but before we do that, we would like to share with you what is happening in the tech space. Why not take a listen to the emerging tech trends?
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Emerging Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad. My name is Denise Yapoma Eji. In our headlines, YouTube is cancelling premium subscriptions bought using spoof-ed locations. Instagram rolls out live broadcasts for close friends. Nvidia overtakes Microsoft as the world's most valuable company. And GPT-5 will have PhD-level intelligence. Let's settle for the details now. YouTube is cracking down on users who used a VPN to buy YouTube Premium in countries where it's cheaper. Recently, individuals employing this method have had their subscriptions automatically cancelled. The platform is taking action against subscriptions with sign-up countries different from users' locations. Instagram now offers private live streams to close friends. Users can host exclusive live broadcasts for a select audience with up to 3 others able to join. The feature is available worldwide. Nvidia quickly surpassed Apple and Microsoft to become the world's most valuable company thanks to its crucial chips for generative AI technology, with its share price closing at $135.58 last week Tuesday, driving its market cap up to $3.335 trillion. And the awaited evolution of ChatGPT, possibly GPT-5, has been a long discussed topic. Recently, OpenAI CTO Mira Murati provided insight on its capabilities. Murati likened the advancement from GPT-4 to GPT-5 to moving from high school to university in an interview posted on X, formerly Twitter, by Dartmouth Engineering. And that's it for Emerging Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad. Join us same time next week. My name is Denisia Poma Eje.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is, and sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions.
And send tweets.
Where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
What is football? I elevated Inter to the pinnacle of European football by winning the treble. I beat the unbeatable Barcelona with Real Madrid, breaking all records on the way. I feel the hearts of the Romanists with joy after winning their first European title. I am relentless. I am ambition. I am a winner. I am José Mourinho. I am football.com.
Place your bets now.
Like a small boat on the ocean.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Tonight we are having a conversation on television. We want to focus on television. It's one of the essential tech devices that we have in our homes. And it's funny because just when I spoke about that, one of our producers mentioned he still has Etikopo in his house, as in those old televisions, like the boxes with... Does it still exist? That's the question, right? Before, Abeku is the one who says he has...
Oh my God.
Etikopo in his house.
Exposed.
Exposed, really. Please, my producer doesn't want to be in that state. It's not Prince, it's Abeku. I have my guests with me, and we are going to get into the conversation. And my guest is Samuel Boateng. If you already heard his voice, he's been a returning guest for some time now. Samuel is the tech content creator for Interesting Digital Trends. Samuel, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Just before we went on the break, I mentioned that we are having a conversation on television, but I would like to hear from you. What television are you currently using? The model you can share with us on the WhatsApp number 055-1111-997. And what is your dream television? You can also share that with us. What is your dream television? We want to delve into the whole discussions of television, especially if you are someone who would like to get a new television, or maybe a friend, your mom, you want to buy a television for her. What are some of the things that we can look out for, especially in our ever-evolving, world where technology is always changing of late? But before we get into that bit of the conversation, I just want us to touch on the tech news that we read earlier about ChatGPT. I know you are my AI friend. We've spoken about ChatGPT for number of weeks on the show. So can we just talk about the new things that they are bringing on board in the ChatGPT 5, at least for our listeners, before we get into our television conversation for today?
Yeah, so ChatGPT, the new one is it's like how do you call it? The dollar rate against the Ghana city. It just keeps increasing and increasing and increasing. Right now, what you are doing right now is just it's just too much. Can you imagine something that was smart becoming extra smart? That's just it. Let me put it that way. So it's like you could do something with it before. Now it could do something for you. You get it? It's just climbing higher and higher.
Let's talk about like PhD level of intelligence.
So imagine, I don't even understand why they are saying that, because at the time they had the 4.0,
yeah,
that one alone was smart. And now they're telling you it's madder. It should tell you what's going on. Yeah. Because look at the questions you could ask it were already professional questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the level
and
of the PhD.
Responses.
But now it's telling you that it's PhD. That means that the knowledge you're going to give out will be very deep. Yeah, especially when it comes to articles and information like that. I think we're about to see insane things, man.
Definitely, and it's something that you would have to look out for once it comes and you are in the position to probably have the paid version of it. Why not?
Yeah, I know a lot of people on it now.
Yes,
yeah, they're going to enjoy it. I mean, it's going to be awesome.
We can't do without AI now.
No.
And so, like we'd say on the show, just embrace it.
Yeah.
You need to definitely embrace what's happening around us.
Friend.
AI is your friend, yes.
It's
no more Google is your friend. AI is your friend now. Okay. So let me ask you, I was asking our listeners, what is their dream television? What would you say is your dream television?
LG 75-inch OLED.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why is that the case?
That TV is amazing. I don't know if you've watched some before. Like, have you seen any OLED TV?
Oh, I mean, going to these shops that they sell televisions, yes.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
The NASCO TVs we are talking about.
Oh, please.
Those LG OLED TVs, come on. It's as if you are standing there. So when you watch food on it, you can just your mouth will be watering as you are watching the food on TV. It's like, damn, could I touch this for real? It's so clean, man. Playing games on it, movies, it's amazing. Yeah, I really like that TV. Yeah,
that's your dream television. Yeah. I don't know whether I already have our dream television, but I think we do. It's a Samsung anyway.
Oh, okay.
But definitely, like the whole conversation, how things are evolving and changing, I'm sure we are going to be changing it at some point. Mm-hmm. So why is it important for us to have some kind of knowledge about television, the features, before we even decide to buy? Like what you were just talking about in terms of wanting an LG OLED, that is your dream television. Why is it necessary for someone listening to us, like Geek Squad? Why are you talking about television today? Why do we need that knowledge in the first place before someone decides to purchase a television?
Okay, so if someone wants to buy a TV, it's like someone wants to buy a car. Yeah, you cannot just get up and buy any car, because they have different types of cars and where they fit actually. So for someone who needs a car in an area where there's a lot of potholes and traveling and all those things, you might need to get a car that has maybe 4-wheel drive or something like that. The same with TVs. Depending on where or what you want to watch, or even the size of your room, it could affect what kind of TV you need in your room. Yeah, and the kind of setup you have there. So we need to understand these things so that we don't waste money in buying certain things that will just be sitting in a house looking fancy and all, but you're not getting it out of it. I mean, sometimes you buy a TV. I know some people buy TVs in their house so huge, they leave the house to visit someone. The person has a smaller TV. And they're like, why is your TV so much quality? Like it looks nicer than mine. You don't understand. Yeah, it's just because of some of this little understanding here and there. So you really, really need to get it. So that when you're going to buy TV, you don't go to La Paz and go and pick any TV randomly because you said the TV is big. You need to understand what it means. Yeah, to buy the TV.
Maybe the person is also looking at their pocket. So
even with your pockets, I mean, you don't just start up and buy anything.
But it's good to have some kind of knowledge so that
what you're buying.
When you go, you're able to check all those things out before. Okay, so now we want to break down the different features, because you mentioned something, OLED. Someone is probably wondering, what is that? We want to mention the different features that could be available, but we'll first start with the resolution.
Okay.
What would be the resolution that someone will have to look out for when they decide that they want to get a television? Buying for someone, we can just look at all the different areas on that.
Okay, so let me explain what resolution is. Resolution is like a pixel packing. It's like how many dots are found in a particular. So the TV that we are looking at, let me say it this way, or even normal screens, laptop and all those ones.
Yeah.
They have this number of dots that form these images. So if you, I don't know if you can put a magnifying glass on your phone or whatever, but when you do that, you realize that it has this little dots, colors that come together.
Yes.
The higher the dots, the sharper sometimes the images look. So it helps with resolution. So the more pixels, we call pixels the dots, the more they are packed, the more the images look sharper. They look more realistic because what we see in our eyes see huge amount of pixels. That's why when I see you, I can see your skin tone, the dots in your skin and all that. So we try to replicate that with the TVs.
Okay.
Yes, the higher the resolution, the more details it can give you. Yes, that's simply put. So 720p against 1080p against 4K against 8K. You should tell you that 720p has a lower resolution. A typical example is when you want to watch a YouTube video. You should play a YouTube video at 720p. When you go to a certain section, once you're playing the video, you see it 720p. You realize that you can see it all right, but it's a bit not
like
so
the quality
sharp.
exactly.
Yes, when it goes to 1080p, it's a bit sharper. When you increase it to 4K, yes. So the higher the resolution, the more details you can see. Same content, but more details. That's all.
That's what it's about. Okay. So for someone, the difference, if the person would want to buy a television, should they be looking at an HD or an FHD or which of them? I mean, you've spoken about the different types based on the pixels and then the quality. What should inform the decision for someone to either choose the 8K or the FHD or
I'm about
the
to
4K?
bust someone's bubble.
You have to do what?
I'm about to bust someone's bubble.
Oh, really?
All those in Ghana using 8K TVs, they have wasted their money.
Oh, sir.
Ask me why.
Why?
This is because the resolution that you are watching, you have on your TV. It's like having the capability to fly in a place with no fly zone. So most of the content that are being produced in Ghana don't even reach. Sometimes they don't even reach up to 1080p. These TVs that we have, those multi TVs and how do you call it? Those channels. The ones that we use satellite dishes to catch. Sometimes they project up to 720p. So you might be thinking that, oh, you have the highest TV, connect your HDMI cable, blah, 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 to the decoder, and then you'll be watching 720p on an 8K TV.
And so it usually affects the quality of the
pictures.
pictures.
You see a big TV and the thing look like some oil has poured on the TV. It's not because of your TV. It's because of the channel or the device you're using. So I would generally advise, like, for everyone who want to buy a TV now, to stay within the range of 1080 to 4K. Yeah, the 1080, the FHD. Yeah.
But with the way technology is evolving, the kind of stations that we watch, would they also not evolve and catch up with that 8K?
You're talking about Ghana. Relax. This is Ghana. We are not ready for that. So we can have. So one of the tricks in getting that is to actually watch TV online. Yes, instead of using the basic cable antenna and all those things, using these online platforms to watch TV. When you watch YouTube on that same TV and you can increase the resolution, then you can actually, because the content that are being produced nowadays are all under 1080. Yes,
that's the thing. So sometimes you're watching it and you're not really feeling it, especially if you watch a certain station. I'm not going to mention it. On those kinds of television, like you just be wondering. Exactly. It's like a very old coverage that was done, but meanwhile it's pretty current.
Buying a Lamborghini in Kaswa. Exactly what
hey,
you're doing.
Please, there's some rich people in Kaswa.
How do you drive a car in Kaswa?
It's just that our roads in Ghana. It's not about Kaswa per se.
Exactly. So you have the big TV, but you don't have enough resolution being sent to your TV. Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of resolution, if someone would like to purchase a television here in Ghana, for now, if you have 8K, you can make use of it by watching some online programs. Otherwise, you're better off going for the 4K. That should be fine, or the full HD or high definition. Okay, so can we talk about sizes? I think you mentioned that with the analogy you were making earlier, you can't just go flying anywhere. So can we talk about the sizes of television? What should inform my decision? Because someone likes to see the things like huge. What should inform my decision?
Let me tell you an experience I had.
Okay.
I thought the biggest TVs were the best at first.
And then what happened?
So we had this big TV, my neck, oh my God. We had this big TV that we bought and we were using it for a while, but I realized that you had to now raise your head to watch every time.
Why?
Because
Was it because of
it's
where it
so
was
big.
positioned?
It is so big, and the room and the TV were not matching. You end up raising your head every time you want to watch something, because the thing is too big that if you want to see a man's forehead, you have to now look up, and then you end up hurting your neck, because every time you want to watch a movie, most of the characters are in that position, so you raise your head all the time.
So which means you have to consider the size of your.
So the size of your room, the distance away from your TV always affects how much you're supposed to watch. So there's this THX say something, said you have to watch like 40 degrees of your sight must be covered by the TV.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can't have the TV in your face. That doesn't help you at all. That is not even healthy in the first place. So you must have
That's
40 degrees of your sight. So you can measure at 40 degrees as where you can gaze, and it's effective. You can see everything clearly. So
Okay. Does it mean that with this 40 degrees, it depends on the size too? Because
Yes.
where it is positioned
yes.
will determine whether you are reaching the 40
Let me give
degrees.
you a quick tip.
Okay.
The measurement, so that whenever you're buying a TV, you consider that. If you have a room, just take a tape measure or any form of a tape measure and just measure from where you place the TV to where you usually sit. So the feet times 10 will be the size to buy. So let's say you get 5 feet. 5 feet times 10 should be 50 inches.
Okay.
Simple. Right?
Okay.
That will help you to get the best performance according to the TV you are buying. So if you are in your room right now,
And you count and it's like 5.
5 feet, then you multiply it by 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so 7 feet. The longer, because some of the TVs, when you buy it and your distance is very far away, if you bought a smaller TV, it would have been the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we can talk about some of the television sizes and then the viewing distance based on the type of resolution. Looking at the 32 inch, for instance, the viewing distance that the person can have or should be looking at should be 6.7 inches. That's for the 1080p. And then if it is 4K too, you should be looking at about 4.3 inches away. And then for 40 inches to 8.3 inches away for the 1080p, and then 5.3 inches for the 4K. So all these different viewing distance have to be considered. And then I know for some people who like the huge television, so for the 60 inch, for instance, 12.5 inches viewing distance if it's a 1080p, and then if it is the 4K for the 60 inch, that's you can have about the 8 feet away. 8 feet away.
But the optimal is always the times 10. Because
Times
you end
10.
up with a 40 degrees view. Yeah, you can have it in that range, but the best viewing is within that times 10 distance. So it's quite simple. Just get a tape measure and pull, and then measure your distance from where you put the TV to where you sit, where you feel comfortable. Yes, and especially when you have guests over watching TV, you don't want them to angle their head in a particular way; their neck will be hurting. So get a TV in a far distance enough for them to watch. Everybody's enjoying the TV. Then you measure. So if it's 5 feet, you multiply by 10, get
50
inches TV. Yes, so 4K, 1080p, you're good. You can enjoy it in that particular distance. Yeah.
Okay, but one thing that you also mentioned, that it shouldn't be in your face.
No, not at all.
So if it's like that,
If it's too big in your face, you're wasting. Well, you're wasting electricity. You're wasting your neck. With a TV, you get a better room or sell it to someone else. When you move to a bigger space, you can actually use it.
you can make use of it. Okay. But I mean, for somebody who already has it, they'll just have
It's
to
too
endure
late.
it anyway. Yeah, it's too late, and they'll just
Or you
have
can
to
resell and then buy a new one.
it.
I don't think you should enjoy it. Your neck, you hurt your eyes. Oh,
That's the whole
can give you
point.
issues. Yeah.
The eye, and I think we'll have to check it. Okay, we will talk some more about the television and what we'll have to look out for in terms of features. So now we can look at the panel types that are available. You said your dream television is an OLED. Can we talk about them? The LED, the QLED, and
So
then
I'm
the
going to make it
OLED?
very simple
Yeah.
so that everyone can understand. So we have the QLED, we have the OLED, we have mini LED, and so on and so forth. The LED simply means light emitting diode.
Yeah.
And then there's a diode inside the TV, it's like something that emits light. Let's just call it a bulb. Small, tiny bulbs. They emit light. They pass through some layers, and then they hit what we call the LCD, liquid crystal display. When it passes through, that's what you see on your screens.
Yeah.
Yes. So the LED TVs are very bright because of what they have inside. Let me make it that simple. I don't want to go too technical. What they have inside makes it very bright And anyone who watches that such TV appreciates it. It's like it's far away and it's very bright in the room. Especially when you have a room that is very well lit, you watch such TVs in there and you enjoy it. And we have what we call the OLED. The OLED has more of how do you call it? The dots that form the light inside can be controlled. With the LED TVs, the basic ones, what happens is that the dark portions of the TV, when something is really black, it's very hard for you to see the darkness. It can be washed out a bit because it's a light emitting diode. It doesn't turn off. So you try to show light that is very dull so they can see it as black. But with the OLED ones, they actually show you black. When something is black, you can actually see it as black on the screen. So that's why for my preference, I prefer that one. And the advantage is that when you are using the LEDs and you're in a bright room, you can see everything clearly. When you're using the OLED, because of how it emits light, it is not so shiny as the LEDs.
LED.
Yes. So that one helps you when you're in a dark room. You see everything very clean. When you're watching a Batman movie, the dark scenes are very dark and clean. They don't look like pale dark. Yes. So I prefer that really to the LEDs. So the other versions of the LED, the QLEDs and all those things, they are variations. They try to enhance. So for one, they add what we call there's a layer they add in between the LED, the bulbs, the diodes, and then the LCD it's a quantum dots. They add that to in between the layers to make it emit the lights even better, and the dark portions also become a bit darker. So they try to enhance the same LEDs until they brought in. That's why we have the varying mini LED, QLED, blah 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 blah. They're all playing the same thing, But the two are the different. The main two, the OLED and the LED itself.
Okay, in terms of pricing, would you say one, based on what we have mentioned, is one more than the other?
Yes. The LEDs are cheaper because they light together, but with the OLED, the very diodes can turn on and off individually. So they are more pricey because each diode now becomes expensive. So when you want to buy a TV, you realize that when you get to the shop, the same size, maybe it's 75. You're buying 75 LED. They'll be more cheaper compared to the OLED. Yes. So depend on, as I was saying, depend on what you're going to do or the kind of room you have. You decide to buy. Don't decide to buy it because I said
that's what
OLEDs are cool and no. It depends on the room. If
and
you have
your
a
pocket
room,
too.
Yes. If you have a room that's very well lit and very bright, it might overshadow the TV and you might not enjoy it so much. But if you have someone who likes dark room, you can turn up the lights, watch your TV. The OLED will be the best. Okay.
So depending on how your room is well lit or not, you can decide to buy any of them. And then also depending on your pocket, since the LEDs are
cheaper.
Way cheaper. Okay. So now we want to talk about sound quality. So for someone who is considering they want to have their room in such a way that it's like they've gone to the cinema. What should they look out for when they want to buy a television or they are buying for a loved one?
Okay, so let me just go straight to this. Be careful when you are buying a TV and you are going to rely on its speakers for your sound. Because some people, I remember someone had a TV on the wall and the vibrations could end up bringing the TV down. Sometimes, when it's very loud. Those people who buy TV with their last money and then they play loud music with it. They can't buy speakers, so they will end up buying them. And they'll just be blasting it. You know, it will be shaking. It causes
they buy TV with their last money.
It's big, it's shaking, and it's flat. So it's very easy for it to fall off if you don't take care. And with that too, it also affects the quality is not that much because of how flat they want to make the TVs nowadays. Unless you buy the very, very expensive ones before you can get good sound coming out of a very flat TV.
So does it mean the person should get a television and also get
a sound system?
A sound system.
I'd really advise for you to do that. Because nowadays the sounds that are coming from movies, if you want to really experience the high definition sounds, get a sound system.
Okay. But for those who can't afford that, then
you can use your TV, but lower it. Lower it. Yes. If you with the sound, there are different types.
Yes.
Look at
the HDMI, ARC, and then the EARC as well.
Yes. So these are sounds that they map the area you are sitting in. So the way they bounce around the room is affected by the settings you are using or the kind of speaker you are using. So the HDMI ARC is higher compared to the ones we used to use before, the normal speaker connection. So when you connect the HDMI cable to, so I don't know if people have noticed, some TVs have this port with HDMI ARC at the back. When you connect it and you connect it to the sound bar, it gives more of a surround sound. Yes, and it's like 3D-ish. You can feel the sounds surround you. When you're watching a movie, you can sort of hear the sound from behind. The E is the enhanced version. The EARC is the enhanced version. So if you are buying a TV and you have the option to choose between
HDMI ARC.
HDMI ARC and the E, I would say pick the E, because the E can give you more. It's an enhanced version.
Yeah.
It can give you more of the depth. You can listen to something called Dolby audio or something like that. It also has that feature. So when someone's singing in a movie, the person's like standing behind you, sitting by you or something like that. It's more like you feel it more when you're watching such movies. And even with sports, it's amazing.
With sports, yes. That's why some people like huge television or big screen sizes. We are having a conversation on how to choose a television in this day and age, especially because tech is always evolving. If you are considering getting a television, what would you look out for? What is your dream television? We asked you to send in your messages on the WhatsApp number 05511111997. What are some of the things that you considered before you got your television? I see that some of you are sharing with us the kind of television that you currently have and then your dream television. What did you also consider when getting the television? Let us know. One thing that we have noticed from our conversation is that your room size really matters. You don't need to have the television right in your face. You need to have it a certain distance away. You can measure with your feet. Once you count and then you have about 5 feet, you multiply it by 10.
Not your actual feet, oh.
Feet as in measurement feet. Yeah. So once you have 5 feet, you multiply it by 10, then that should be the distance that
50 inches.
Exactly 50 inches. That should be the size of television that you should have. Okay. So we have some messages. A message is from Mary Theodora, and she's saying that she uses a Samsung, a Toshiba. Okay, a Toshiba, because I have used one for 13 years and it is still working in my kids' room. Okay, a Samsung and then also a Toshiba.
I think a Samsung is a dream. Toshiba is a reality.
Yes. I believe so. Okay, I also have one from Hayford in Tech Kwame, and then it says my dream TV is Samsung S90C. 90C, yeah. Okay, OLED.
Yeah.
All right.
He knows what he's talking
Yes, he really
guy
does.
knows what
The
he's
way
talking
he's
about.
been specific about
Yes.
it. Okay. And this is also Bram 65-inch smart television. I believe that's what he's currently using. Okay. All right, thank you so much for sending in your messages. You can send us your message also from on the WhatsApp number 05511111997. I have another message from Kwesi. He is at Sakama. He said he uses normal television with remote control. It's enough. What at all do we want on earth? This normal television, I hope it's not.
I want to ask him a question.
I hope it's not a
Wait. If he's complaining, why doesn't he attach his phone to the wall and watch it? There is a reason for a TV.
So what at all do we want on this earth? It's true, but I mean,
well, yeah, it helps us to enjoy certain things.
Yes.
So, for instance, if you want to watch a match and feel like you are in there, a big screen is nice. That's what we are talking about these days. I mean, you could watch it on your phone.
Yeah.
You can watch a match on your phone, but
it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, with our phones now, you can literally do almost everything.
But still,
on
a
it.
TV is a TV.
Yes.
Want to enjoy a movie.
The big screen.
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to use the
Relax
television for that. You want to use the television for that. Okay, thank you for sending in your messages. You can also send us yours on the WhatsApp number 05511111997. I'm having a conversation with Samuel Boateng. He is the tech content creator for interesting digital trends, and we're having a conversation on choosing a television. Your mom, you want to buy a television for her, or you have a relative somewhere you want to get a television for her. What are some of the things that you would look out for? That is what we've been discussing so far. We've spoken about the resolution, we've spoken about the TV sizes, and then the panel types. We've also spoken about the sound quality. So now we want to talk about the refresh rates and then talk about the different types that are available and what people can look out for when they want to get it.
So refresh rates, just as the name says, there's so many times movies and are just pictures, right? Like
Yes.
multiple pictures that are
In
being
motion.
shown. Yeah. So it's like they are being flipped continuously. So for something to be called like refresh rate is how many times does it refresh? How many times does this image change on your TV? So you realize that sometimes when you watch a movie in your house, it looks a bit blurry and all that. As I always say, oil is on top of your TV. Yes. But when you go to your neighbor's the same, it's like, what settings are you using? But different TV. And that one is sharper. Like, how did you do it? Because you copied actually your neighbor. When he bought DSTV, you also went to buy DSTV because you saw him. Where did you buy it? Where did you get your deal? But when he came and you're watching it, it's the same TV side, but it's not the same.
You're not understanding what is
Good.
happening.
The refresh rate of your TV might be lower compared to his. So what happens is that when this refresh rate is higher, when these images are showing, they begin to move very quickly, and then it becomes very sharp. So when you're watching sport, or you're playing games and stuff. So people who really like playing games like those high refresh rates.
Okay.
Yeah, the standard right now in general is like 120 hertz. So the basic is like, I think the least you could have is 60 hertz.
60 hertz.
Yes. But the standard now is 120. There are 200 hertz and all that, but for higher screens, and you might not need that. As I said, we are in Ghana.
Yes.
Yes. So if you want to stay in the midpoint where you're okay and it's nice and sharp, stay with the 120 hertz.
If you just want something that you know is in the in between, then 120 hertz will be okay for you. So if you want to choose buying a new television, 120 hertz in Ghana, you shouldn't have a problem. The basic one is the 60 hertz, and that is what we have. We're having a conversation on how you can choose a television, as in the different features when you want to buy a new one. And I've been having a conversation with Samuel Boatin, the content creator for interesting digital trends. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Now, before we continue with our conversation, you know we all have those days when you are low on everything: energy, time, cash, and even airtime and data. Well, that's why MTN Extra Time is an airtime and data advanced service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet even when you have insufficient balance. All you have to do is to dial star 506 hash, star 506 hash, go through the prompts and select the amount of airtime or data you need. It's more than simple. Doing your favorite things on MTN means you don't get interrupted even when you are low on airtime or data. Do remember that terms and conditions apply. Terms and conditions apply. This is Geek Squad. We will be getting back into our conversation shortly. Stick with us.
Hey, so as for you, every day you are just pressing your phone. Why? Are they paying you?
They are, Oma.
Eh?
The more I use my MTN, the more points I get. And I can use those points to get airtime, data, and even discounts at shops and restaurants.
Hey, so that is why all of you are always pressing your phones. And you won't tell us, so that we too we can enjoy some.
Oh, ma.
There's always more to enjoy with MTN Rewards. Just keep talking, testing, and browsing all day, every day to collect your points and use it to redeem amazing offers and discounted freebies right away. There's so much available for you. So dial star 550 hash and get your reward today. Let's go everywhere you go.
Kweku, have you heard what they are doing on MTN?
The luckiest. Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah. The luckiest. Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah.
Doctors,
nurses,
barbers,
drivers,
bouncers,
friends,
teachers,
bankers.
You could be the luckiest. You could be the luckiest.
east, west, north, south, Obiama to be.
You could be the luckiest. You could be the luckiest.
Accra to Haga.
Let's go.
The luckiest. Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah. The luckiest. Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah.
Doctors,
nurses,
barbers,
drivers,
bouncers,
friends,
teachers,
bankers. The luckiest. You could be the luckiest.
99.7 FM.
On the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN everywhere you go. We are having a conversation tonight on what to look out for when you want to buy a new television. And I have with me in the studio Samuel Boatin. He is the content creator for Interesting Digital Trends. So far, we have spoken about different aspects in terms of features that you would have to look out for when you want to buy a television. We've spoken about the resolution, we've spoken about TV sizes, the panels, that's the LED, QLED, and then the OLED, and then we've also spoken about the sound quality. And we mentioned to you that you can let us hear from you. What is your dream television? What kind of television are you currently using? And then if you are to buy a new television, what would you be looking out for in terms of the features before you purchase that? Okay, and I have somehow we just want to now look at the different aspects of the television. But before we do that, I have a message. Kwesi Atakaman, he says, please go over how to determine the maximum TV size. The TV size. I think he wants to know the distance where you sit comfortably and then where you can put your television so that it's not so much in your face.
So for your home, I would also say naturally you have to put a distance between you and your TV. So we have a flat side of your house, rather use the long range, and then measure from you where the TV is going to be placed to where the couch is going to be. Or if you're using a plastic chair, where your plastic chair is going to be, get a tape measure from that point to where you're sitting. Measure the distance in feet actually. So if it's 5 feet away, multiply by 10. Then you get something like 50 inches TV. You can get something that's a bit bigger, a bit smaller, but stay within that range of the 50 inches because it's the best optimal, because you have to watch, as we said, the TV
40
in a 40-degree angle of your vision. What it means is that it doesn't have to cover your whole eye. It has to be in an, if you look at your eye, you can see from top to down, right?
Yeah.
If you measure 40 degrees, that's how much it's supposed to cover when you are looking forward at your TV. You get it? It's that simple. If you don't take care, you end up getting something that will strain your eye or will end up giving you a headache because it might be too close, hurting your eye, or it might hurt your neck.
The neck aspect.
Yeah, so don't be don't enter the TV. Don't get a TV that you have to just feel like you are inside. Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So there you have it. You can just measure the size of your room. That will determine the size of the television to buy. We have another question from Eddie Oyibi. Eddie says he's using a Roach TV, that's 50-inch, but he has a question. What is nanocell technology about? What is nanocell technology about?
I think it's all part of what do you call it? The LED, the light emitting diode thing I was talking about. So there are various ways of improving how these dots or pixels are formed. And probably nanotechnology might be a form to emit the lights in a way that it might give more details. As I said, we have many versions. We have the mini LED and all those kind of stuff. Nanotechnology might be another format that they are trying to introduce that will give more details. But I've not particularly looked at that because it's not one of the main branches. Yeah. So I'll probably look into it and then give more.
We can give you more info on that. Thank you for your question, Eddie. Okay, so now I want to look at the different ports that we have in the connectivity on televisions, because there are times that I work from home. Sometimes you want to use a big screen. If your television allows you and there are certain ports on it, then definitely you can connect it to your laptop or the device that you have. So can we talk about the televisions and the different ports that people can look out for, so that it's not just for TV purposes, but if you want to extend your laptop screen onto that, you'll be able to do it.
So basically what we need is HDMI ports. That's one of the most basic ones that we need. You need an HDMI port that is above 2.0. Yeah, so the basic one, the standard that we have is HDMI 2.0. If you want something that's a bit higher, use something HDMI 2.1. Yes, if you want a better resolution and a faster transfer of how do you call it, the video you're watching, because sometimes there's things like lagging and so on and so forth that happens when you're watching this TV, and you might be complaining not because of what do you call it, the TV, but because of certain ports that you have behind it. And some of the TVs, if you don't take care, you go and buy it and you have to get a different type of cable. I mean, we got some TV had this kind of weird ports on it. Yes, so you have to check what is available on the market in Ghana. They can easily use, so you can connect your TVs instead of buying monitors that you cannot use. Yes, so get ones with USBs, ones with HDMI.
Yes. USB.
I don't know if some people still use this RYGB kind of cable. The yellow, green.
Maybe the old. If
you are using a Play Store, change over.
Please, let's tell Abeku then.
The quality will be affected, especially because the color distribution from the HDMI is different from the RYGB thing. Yes, because it used to use red, yellow, green, blue to show the colors, but now they've enhanced it so there are more colors in between. If you want to see more from your TV, then try and get TVs that have the port for the HDMI. And some of the TVs also have Ethernet. So with the Ethernet, you're able to connect your TV to the internet.
Yes.
And you're able to watch here. Some even have this satellite dish. They can connect the satellite dish directly instead of using how do you call that? TV box. You can connect the satellite directly to the TV and be able to access it. So depending on what you are going in for, you should check all these things. Take your time. When you go, there's no need to rush. No matter what they are telling you at the shop, don't mind them. Just take your time and understand each one of them. You need HDMI. The basic is HDMI. USB. You need multiple HDMI. Get a TV.
That's what I was going to ask. That's the number of ports.
Yes. You need like 4. So HDMI, ARC. You need because some have multiple things they connect. Your TV is always connected to your decoder box.
Yes.
That one you don't remove it.
Yes.
So that's one already taken.
Yes.
Let's say you connect the HDMI to a soundbar 2.
Yes.
Now you have your laptop you often connect, or your kids will want to connect these. That's the third one. Then you have a spare one for other things. Yes, that's what I'm saying 4. Not because I'm trying to be, but you get the point. So you need all those ports. If you can get a minimum of 2, it's okay. You can manage it like that. But you need like at least the maximum like 4 to help you to be able to easily enjoy your TV.
Okay.
Yes. And USB ports too.
Yeah. Okay, so you spoke about connecting to the internet sometimes. Can we talk about smart televisions? I'm sure some people already even have it in their house. Can we talk about it?
So that's one of the things that helps us enjoy smart homes. Yes, you can have how do you call it? I don't know if you heard of IoT. I think you have had guests here. Yeah. You can have your TV connected to a system in the house and also connected to the internet, where you can even be in the house and then someone turn on your TV, you can tell that you can be at the office, someone has turned on your TV, can control it, you can change so many things from your office or even when you're outside. Also, it helps us to be able to engage a TV beyond its basic viewing option, where you can get to use a Netflix. You don't need to connect your laptop. You have Netflix, you have Apple TV and other options like Rock TV and all those kind of things on the TV directly. So we have different types of OS. We have the web OS, we have Android TV, and I think some other ones. These ones, if you are buying here, one more thing you should also check if you have the time is to check the space on the TV. So some TVs have memory. Yes. So you check, you have something like 1 gigabyte is okay. Some have small memory. So when there's an update on the kind of OS on the TV, you cannot update. I've seen people with when they buy the TV fresh, it was developed in 2011. There's a new update in 2024, and you cannot update because the minimum size of the memory was like 300 megabytes. At first, they thought it would be small, but now the new upgrades, the new channels, the new softwares that have come, they want to add more features to the TV, and then you have small. Yeah, so try and get something with a big memory
size, so that if there's any update,
you can do that. So they can get more from Netflix, can get more from Hulu or the Prime TV and so on and so forth. Can even watch some pictures and all kind of stuff on the TV.
We're having a conversation on what to look out for when you decide to buy a television, or maybe you have an old one, you're thinking about replacing it. I'm having a conversation with Samuel Boateng, the tech content creator for Interesting Digital Trends. And Samuel, I think I would like us to go through it when we are wrapping up, at least for someone who maybe just joined us, give them the tips, the main things to look out for. But before we get into that, Risk Summit Africa is coming off this year on the 24th and 25th of July 2024. All risk and compliance and audit professionals across Africa are invited. And are you ready to tackle the challenges of governance, risk, compliance, and audit head on? Then you definitely need to mark your calendars for the 7th edition of Risk Summit Africa, which would be on 24th and 25th of July at the Labadi Beach Hotel. This is a 2-day event, and you have to join for the insightful discussions, networking opportunities, and invaluable takeaways. So whether you're a CEO, risk compliance officer, a board member, or mid-level executive, this summit is for you. You can learn from global best practices, connect with industry experts, and discover strategies for immediate implementation. The rate is a cool 4,000 Ghana cedis, and early bird ticket is going for 3,800. Group discounts are also available, so you can reserve your ticket at www.risksummitafrica.com. It's all one word, risksummitafrica.com, or you can call the number 057276047472 0572760772. You can call the number for more information. Up next is the quick tech fixes. Stay tuned. We will be back after that.
Hello there. My name is Michelle Ejekum, and I bring you some tech quick fixes and tips here on Geek Squad. Sharing file with Nearby Share on Android is a breeze, and it's a great alternative to Bluetooth or traditional file sharing methods. To use Nearby Share on Android, follow these steps. 1. Make sure that both devices have Nearby Share turned on and are close to each other. 2. Choose the file you want to share and tap on the Share button. 3. Look for the Nearby Share icon in the Share menu and tap on it. 4. Select the device you want to share the file with. 5. The recipient will receive a notification and can choose to accept or decline the file. And that's it. So go on and use a Nearby Share on Android, as it makes it easy and convenient.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN everywhere you go. We have had a conversation on what to look out for when you want to buy a television, and just before we went on the break, I was just telling someone that it will be good for us to just summarize everything for someone who just joined us. What should they look out for when they want to get a television?
Okay, so I want to buy a TV for myself or for someone. If for your mom, go and buy Hisense.
Oh, really?
So, for yourself or someone, okay, cool. First, you have to check the room. Which room are you? The lights in the room, the distance of the TV from whoever is going to be watching the TV, the audience, if it's a large audience or a small audience, then the kind of sound you're using. So we start from the distance. So, as I said, measure from where you're sitting with a simple tape measure, how many feet from where you're going to be sitting. Multiply it by 10, and inform you to get the optimal size for your TV. So you multiply by 10 and 6 inches. 6 feet, it's 6 times 10, 60 inches. You can get maybe 65, anything within that range. You might not get the exact number. If you get 5.5 or something, you can, you get it. You have to get within that range. And then, as I said, the brightness of the room. If your room is so bright, you might get something like LED will help you. If you like watching TVs in the dark, you can watch OLED. You can also get a sound bar to support the sound coming from the TV. The TV must also have options like Android TV options where you can update and so on and so forth. So you can enjoy other features that come with TV. If you buy an 8K TV in Ghana, you're wasting your time. If you want to watch something online, then you may want to enjoy that. But as I said, generally, that should be it.
That should be it. This show is on YouTube and on Facebook at Joy 99.7 FM. You can definitely check it out. Thank you so much, Samuel, for joining me this evening. And a big thank you to my producers, Prince Safo, Edem Naite, and then also Abeku. God willing, next week we will be back. And just to my Toastmasters community, I know that you have been listening to me. We are going to have our dinner come Friday at the EcoBank head office, and so we would like to meet there and have fun. And also to my aunt or my mother-in-law, Dorothy Otin Poku. You are in Kumasi. I know you are listening to us this evening. Thank you so much for making time to join us. God willing, next week we will be back with Geek Squad. Up next is news by Michael Ashley. Stay tuned.